and thank you for joining us again on this month's episode of Clubcast. I'm Kate Capezza. I am the Director of Communications for Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County, and joining me this month is one of our very own staff members. His name is Mr. Borris Cameron. So Borris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Kate. It's a pleasure.
Borris is one of our Vice Presidents of Club Services, and he's here today to tell us a little bit about his role within the organization, a little bit about the exciting things happening within our organization, including some new clubs opening, so that's very exciting. And also to just give more information on our 21st Century program and how important it is to have that kind of education in the 21st century, and just to give that extra support, that project-based learning to our clubs and to our youth, to just give them a little additional support to succeed in their futures. So to start, I would like Borris just share a little bit about how you got started with Boys and Girls Clubs. How did you get started in your role?
Okay, so Kate, I started with the movement about 2 years ago. I moved to Port St. Lucie from Ohio. I've been working in youth development for about 15 years now. Once, coming down to Florida, started working with Boys and Girls Club St. Lucie County. I assumed the position of 21st Century Project Director. So I was responsible for launching our two high school locations at Treasure Coast High School, as well as Fort Pierce Westwood Academy. So that is kind of how I got my start here at Boys and Girls Club. About 2 years ago, yeah. The time is moving pretty quickly.
Nice. And before you got started with Boys and Girls Clubs, what did you do in youth development? You said 15 years. What did you do before your time with us?
You want the short story or the long one?
We'll take the long one.
All right. So I'm a Jersey boy, so I grew up in New Jersey. I ended up going to Ohio for college. I got my undergraduate degree at Bowling Green State University, a degree in sport management, which ended up giving me a bachelor's of science in education, which I didn't even know when I first started that I would be getting a degree in education. So that's how things first kind of started. So during my time in college, I would go home and, back to New Jersey, and during the summer, my best friend, his mother, she was the executive director, still is the executive director of, I would say, a community development center. So, students go there after school, they go there during the summertime. So my friend and I, we were kind of running around during the summer, just having fun. She said, you guys are gonna come work for me. So that's how I got my start, and a lot of what I was learning during my college years, I started to implement in my position as a summer camp counselor. So every year I would go back during summer and I would work as a camp counselor, and that kind of propelled me to during I think it was my senior year of college, I was like, man, I need a job. So I got a job at a local school, and they had an after-school program. This was through a organization called After School All-Stars. And at After School All-Stars, I started to do professional developments and really just kind of hone in the youth development. What I thought was a job at the time ultimately turned into a career. So while I was working at After School All-Stars, one of my coworkers, he was pursuing his doctorate degree, and he came to me and he said, Borris, my advisor's looking for somebody to do their master's. Would you be interested? And I was like, I never really thought about a master's. And it ended up being one of the best decisions that I made. I ended up pursuing a master's degree at the University of Toledo, which was premised in theory and educational and social foundations of education. So once I was a graduate assistant while I was going to school for that degree, and I got the opportunity to work with different youth, and I started to instruct adults. So I would be like a substitute for some of our instructors. So it was really a time where I kind of grew, and I really grew in the youth development. So while working with or going and getting my graduate degree, I really started to understand one of my focus in my graduate degree was urban education. So it really kind of prepared me for the work that I'm doing now in in the Treasure Coast area, as well as Fort Pierce. It really framed my mind like, hey, this is something that I can really make an impact. So once I completed my graduate degree, I worked for another after-school program called Kids Unlimited, where I became what Boys and Girls Club calls a club director. I became a site director, and I opened a new site. So at the time, I was in my early 20s, and I didn't know anything about management, and it kind of came to fruition. We started this new school, and I really learned a lot about youth development and really honing into student interest. And these were theories and knowledge that I was taking from my graduate program, and I was able to do that practical application within that job. So I did that for a while. I ended up transitioning to career development, which I worked in for about 6 years. So I helped people find jobs and, connected them to post-secondary education opportunities. And that was prior to coming down here to Florida. So once I ended my tenure with the career development, I ended up in Florida, kind of merged the two together, and now I'm here as Vice President of Club Services at the Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County.
Wow, that is quite a background. I didn't realize that you had that experience.
Absolutely.
So during your time, like actually in the clubs, getting to experience what we call a club director, that kind of role, how has that changed your mindset, being actually in the clubs to where you are now, of how to lead those in the clubs?
I think that experience really gave me a point of view as well as a perspective. Oftentimes, when you kind of climb the ranks, you kind of lose sight of things, but I always remain like, man, I remember when the parent was kind of giving me calls and bogging me down about their child, and just all of the small things and nuances that go with a club director's position and responsibilities. There's a lot that is kind of embedded in their day-to-day responsibilities, and I think that my experience starting off as a club director, a site director, really kind of prepared me to not only see things from my perspective as a vice president, but to see things from their perspective as a club director. So it kind of gave me that balance there.
That's awesome. So as the vice president of club services, what does your role look like on a daily basis?
Whew. So I would say my primary role is overseeing our 21st century programs. We have our 5 programs that have started, and we have one that will be starting on Monday, but I'm sure we'll get to that. So on a day-to-day basis, I am just ensuring that we are, complying with all our grant requirements, submitting our deliverables, kind of just making sure that things are operating how they need to be operating, ensuring that our students are safe, our members are safe, ensuring that, they are engaged in meaningful learning experiences. That's really what we aim for with our 21st century programs and all of our Boys and Girls Clubs as a whole. We want our members to be having fun, to be engaged, and to have those lasting memories that they can carry with them in the future and be like, man, I had a great time at Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
And, we want to create those productive citizens that may be able to, in the future, give back to a organization that, poured so much into them.
That's really cool. So talking more about 21st century, tell those who might not know, tell them a little bit about what 21st century is and which of our clubs are 21st century learning
So
centers.
currently we have 6 21st century locations. 2 are at high schools, Treasure Coast High School as well as Fort Pierce Westwood Academy. We also have 2 elementary schools, which are Mariposa Elementary and shout out to St. Lucie Elementary. We launched that program this previous Monday on February 3rd. So we're really excited about that program. We have a 21st century program at one of our clubhouses, which is our Garden Terrace unit. That clubhouse is comprised of students who attend Lawnwood Elementary here in Fort Pierce, as well as C.A. Moore Elementary. And then we are expanding our horizons and kind of, venturing into uncharted territory with our last 21st Century site, which will be Dan McCarty Middle School. So this is the first time that we'll be in a middle school space starting this Monday, February 10th. So we're really excited about Dan McCarty and, you know, serving those students as well as those families. But to answer your question directly, Kate, 21st Century is a federally funded program under the Title IV Act. The federal dollars are distributed to the states, and then the states put out a request for proposal. Different entities, you know, nonprofit organizations, churches, and different, you know, organizations throughout Florida and different states can apply for this grant. Schools also. And then once you receive those dollars, 21st Century is premised in providing enriching programming and activities outside of school hours. So we really hone in on that academic support, and one huge component of 21st Century is family involvement. So on a monthly basis, we have family nights where we invite the families in and we give them information about, you know, their students' success and some of the things that we do within the 21st Century program. We really focus on getting that family engagement. We see that, you know, that increased family engagement helps the student to succeed because they know they have support not only at school, but they have that support at home as well. So the 21st Century program is really a program that focuses on providing those, I guess, non-traditional opportunities to students in an after-school setting.
That's really awesome. Along with 21st Century, there are teachers that help with tutoring, correct? Tell us a little bit about how that all works and how teachers come in.
So one of the great parts or great components of our 21st Century programs, we have certified teachers on our staff which work directly with our members, you know, to provide that academic support that our members need. If they may have, you know, any struggles in English and language arts or mathematics, we have our certified teachers there to reinforce some of the things that our students are learning. We work very closely with the St. Lucie County School District to ensure that our enrichment activities are aligning with, you know, the standards and curriculum that they are doing during the school day. So it's not like we are there to reteach, but we're there to support, reinforce, and help those students succeed academically.
Cool. That's awesome that we have those connections to the teachers at the schools.
Absolutely.
Along with that, for the new opening of schools with St. Lucie Elementary and Dan McCarty, how do we form that connection with new schools and opening up clubs in new schools? Like, how did that come to be?
So that kind of starts with the grant process. So during the grant process, we identify, you know, several schools that we like to partner with to bring 21st Century to that specific location. We ended up working with Dan McCarty in St. Lucie Elementary. Throughout the grant process, you know, it's been a collaborative effort. I want to give a huge shout out to the administration at St. Lucie Elementary as well as Dan McCarty Middle School. They have been instrumental in us implementing the program, you know, us being awarded the grant. This has been a collaborative process, and we are really excited to the, you know, for things to come in the future for both of those programs and our other 4 21st Century programs. But we've been able to foster and kind of cultivate that relationship with both schools' administration, work collaboratively to really roll this program out, see it come to fruition, and serve those students in the best way that we can.
Awesome, and it's cool that it's not just 1 but 2 schools opening.
Absolutely,
so it's very, very exciting.
Really exciting.
Yes.
We're so super excited.
How many kids will we be serving at those 2 new clubs?
So in total, we will have 200 students between the 2 clubs.
Wow.
Dan McCarty Middle School will have a enrollment capacity of 60 students, and over at St. Lucie Elementary, we will have an enrollment capacity of 140 students. So, you know, 200 more kids that are receiving academic support, you know, mentorship, just having that opportunity to even socialize with their friends after school. This generation, we're very tuned in to electronics and, the internet. So this provides these students a safe environment where they can engage in immersive learning experiences and really enjoy themselves after school, and not just run home and be on the video game too much.
Yeah, right. So for those who might be wondering, what kind of programs do we run after school? What kind of programs could new members expect from Boys and Girls Club?
Absolutely. So we really hone in on diversifying our programming. It is really focused on the core component subject areas, I would say English and language arts, as well as mathematics. At our high schools, we have a career and college readiness component. So those students are getting prepared for the next level, whether they are pursuing college education or going to some type of vocational post-secondary program. We really try to prepare them through resume building, interview skills.
That's awesome.
We partner with different organizations and individuals throughout the county to come in and provide contractual services, whether that be cosmetology, barbering, financial literacy. So we try to offer an array of different activities that will kind of bolster the students' knowledge, and we really hone in on real-world application, is having those aha moments, because oftentimes kids sit in class and like, what are we learning this for? So in our after-school program, we don't want it to look like school after school. We really want them to be engaged and making those connections. At our elementary schools, elementary locations, we have same support as far as the academics. We have been working with different contractors. We recently, we will be submitting some artwork to the Boys and Girls Club National Art Contest. We did some watercolor paintings at our elementary sites, some photography and videography at our high school sites. So we try to offer a plethora and wide range of activities. We really hone in the student interest. So we ask the students, what are some things that you want to do? Anytime I'm in the club, I walk up to the kids. If you could have anything, what would you have? Because I'm the man with the plan. So tell me and I can bring it. So we really try to make it as fun as possible and engaging as possible, and really try to, just feed our students with as much knowledge as possible, because knowledge is power. I always say that. As much knowledge as you can attain, make sure that you kind of soak that up and take it to, as high as you can go with it. Absolutely.
Awesome. I think it's so cool that we get to know what our kids' interests are, and be able to just have different programs that can adhere to whatever interests they have.
Most definitely.
Speaking of the aha moments, have you had any sort of success stories that you've experienced from any kids in the program, whether it's 21st century or outside?
I would say with all of our programs, we have had, members go on to do great things. They are currently doing great things. I will just highlight one of our members specifically. His name is Jose Lopez. He has been with our program since inception. He started in 2023. He was there pretty much the first couple of days. Jose was in the 10th grade at the time. We had a community event a couple of months after launching the program, and we reached out to some teens to volunteer to help with the event. Jose ended up being the first person at the location that morning. Not the first, staff, but the first person. He beat everybody there. And I was like, oh, this kid's kind of different, okay? Jose, don't kill me, but I'm gonna put the story out here. He ended up getting his bike stolen that day. And, just the poise and maturity that he showed, I was like, man, this is a different kind of young man. And I was very impressed with Jose. From that experience, I ended up offering Jose a job with one of our 21st century programs at Garden Terrace Unit, and I believe this was sometime in 2023. Jose is still with us today.
Wow.
He is a senior, dual enrolled at Indian River State College.
Nice.
Doing so great. Been, I see him at like our staff meetings. I'm like, man, you were in a club and now you're my coworker ultimately. So that's just one success story. I have offered positions, and we have several of our members who currently work for us. So really honing into that career and college readiness. I try to give back because I think about all of the individuals that provided me with an opportunity to be here with you today. So I try to do the same for our students. So in particular, Jose stands out as one of those success stories to show, he has really bought in to the 21st century program, to the Boys and Girls Club mission, and he's the epitome of, what we try to do in creating those, productive citizens within our community.
Thank you for sharing that. It's
Absolutely.
awesome that members come back and work for us. I had an internship with Boys and Girls Club for my last 3 credits of college, and it ended up turning into a job from there. So
Awesome.
It's just crazy how it works like that, and how our organization offers opportunities like
Absolutely.
that. So it's so cool. How does 21st Century work with local schools and other organizations to maximize its impact?
So we work with, of course, the St. Lucie County School District. We work with organizations all throughout St. Lucie County, whether that be to come in and provide contractual services, come in and do workshops with our students, provide just, information about whatever it may be, voting, nutrition, health education. We really try to, tap into the community to be a part of this because our students are of the community. Many times we reach out to, we have family members that come in and, provide different information and workshops on, best practices as far as being engaged in your child's learning experience. I think it is a collaborative effort amongst all of the organizations, as well as Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County, the St. Lucie County School District. We all work together to really bring those experiences and that knowledge and, just that information to our families and to our students. It's really important that that information is disseminated to our families, that help is out there, resources are out there if you may need it. We are an extension of the community, we are an arm of the community, and we want them to know that we are there. So we want this to be a process that is inclusive. Everybody can benefit when we are working together, and so that is one of, I would say, one of our main focal points of this 21st Century program is to, just have partnerships with different, entities in the community. I'll give you a quick example. During these summer months, our high school students, they go out and they provide, community service hours, and they, get the opportunity to job shadow and develop their, hard and soft workplace skills at organizations such as the Church of Coast Food Bank, United Against Poverty, Mustard Seed Ministries, Freedom Boat Club. These are all places where our members have gone in the summertime to really kind of cultivate and develop those workplace skills. And this couldn't come to fruition without that partnership aspect with those different organizations. So it's a beautiful, well-oiled machine, and we look to continue that to keep going. And
that's such an amazing opportunity for our teens to be able to experience that in the summer months. That's something that not many teens can experience.
Yeah, it goes a long way because career exploration kind of helps you navigate the waters. Oftentimes, you grow up, I want to be a cop, I want to be a lawyer, and you end up being something totally different. So these type of opportunities allow our members to explore different industries and different, workplaces, and kind of get themselves an idea of, okay, whether I want to go this route or that route.
So cool and exciting.
Absolutely.
What do you see coming up next for Boys and Girls Clubs, or what's your vision for the future? Any exciting plans ahead?
I would say we're just looking to expand, expand our reach serve more students, bring them more opportunities. And as I sit here, we want to expand our community partnerships, as many community partnerships that we can bring and establish those relationships and provide our students and our members with those opportunities to kind of venture out and hear some different perspectives and see something different. I think that is the main goal of our Boys and Girls Club, keeping our kids safe, providing them with those unique experiences where they can think about, hey, I want to do this with my life, and ultimately that contributes to our overall community in whatever positive way it does. So I think just expansion with our programming, really tapping into student interest. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to be doing on a daily basis, and kind of integrate that into our programming? And I think the sky's the limit. We do so much here at the Boys and Girls Club, St. Lucie County. I'm honored to be part of, such a great organization, and, great futures start here. So we're looking to just keep this train going forward.
I'm very excited to see what's to come. Even with my time here, I feel like we have grown so much compared to when I first started, so it's so awesome. To throw it in there for those watching, do you want to give us a little bit information about our spring break registration and information, just what clubs spring break will be at, if you can give that information?
Our spring break will be at several of our clubhouses, our Westside Clubhouse, our Chuck Hill Clubhouse, Ken Pruitt as well. Well, you put me on the spot here, Kate. But if parents and families are interested in spring break, they can go on our website, which will provide more information, or give us a call and we can provide that exact information on cost, location, availability, and everything like that. We want to encourage our families to take advantage of this spring break. We know that, parents are still working, so when school's out, clubs are in. So we want to provide that safe environment for our members to, continue having fun over spring break, get to kind of interact with different students from different schools, because, during spring break, you might have kids from this school, that school, this school, this school that don't normally go to the club together. So I would encourage families, give us a call. They can find out specific information on whatever club they are interested in. They can get cost, time, all of that information will be provided to them.
Thank you. I put Borris on the spot, but like he said, you can visit our website at bgcofslc.org, and it'll have all of the information on there about spring break, what clubs we're at, what the hours are, registration information, and all that. So Borris, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing more about our 21st Century program.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Kate. Thank you.
So thank you. Visit our website for more information, and we will see you next month.